Right,
What?
we have to have some kind of intro or something, don't we? Or do we just
No, I
go?
don't think so. We just go. Just
No.
talk. You can just fucking edit it in. It's fine.
What would you mean edit it in? We haven't got anything to edit in. We haven't done
No,
any.
just like, just we'll just do like an old school like Microsoft PowerPoint blur into the image, like into the thing. So that's it like that. Cool,
Right.
cool, cool.
So obviously we wanted to do a podcast for a very long time. Well, I have anyway, and I actually have a YouTube channel this will go up on, and then I will try and do the RSS stuff with it. But baby steps, baby steps.
What's RSS?
It's the format that you upload like all podcasts and stuff through. So everything that
Oh, what? Like, so it's on like for iTunes and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, so basically you have
Yeah.
what's called an RSS feed, and
Mm.
then on an RSS feed, it's like where the podcasts are hosted, and then all the apps and all the different things they pull from the RSS feeds.
Oh, right. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, because
That's
obviously you've got all
interesting.
these different players and different stuff, and obviously
Yeah,
everyone can't go upload everything to like 1,000 different places. So you normally
yeah.
have an RSS feed that everything pulls through.
I did actually always wonder, like, you always hear a podcast, they're always like, oh, wherever you get your podcast, sort of thing. It's like, how do they know to upload it literally everywhere? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so normally you're just the RSS feed gets added on, and you'll have a website or something that it sits on in the background. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, it's I think it's I mean, I'm sure it has other uses. There definitely will be other uses. It wasn't made for podcasting, but I think most of the time that I hear it brought up is only in and around podcasting.
Let me
Podcasts are
use my
massive.
height.
Everyone's got podcasts now.
Sorry?
It's massive. Everyone does podcasts now, don't they? So it's
Yeah, well,
massive.
everyone does. Yeah, exactly. Everyone does. Exactly. That's why we're contributing, mate. We're added to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And
We're jumping on the bandwagon.
and you know what's really well, it's not the bandwagon. It was a bandwagon about 5 years ago. Like it
Yeah,
it it's had its big thing. Joe Rogan did all that, and I think that the world is lacking um, the cultural insight of straight white men. There's just not enough straight white men out there
nah,
getting their opinions
nah.
out there for the world to see.
Andrew
Actually,
Tate would have something to say about that, I would have thought.
yeah, Andrew. Oh, mate. On the note of Andrew Tate, right? He's just become.
There we go. This will be entertaining.
He's just become a
It's one way
like.
to start off a podcast. Within the first 5 minutes, we talk about
Yeah, I
Andrew
know.
Tate.
He's just become like a controversy merchant.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Now I'm sure all he does now is just put stuff up to create an argument. Like
yeah,
he just puts like someone. I don't have Twitter, but like sometimes I'll see like his tweets or whatever and get reposted, and I'll just be like, literally, what is that? Like that is him just. He's just trying to get a load of people arguing in the comment section underneath. That's what I feel like it is a lot of the time.
I think he's desperate to stay relevant, and the problem
Yeah,
is that what made him like a popular figure and so bit like famous for what it was his shtick, and his shtick was, oh, I talk about women like this. I talk about, oh, that's annoying. I talk about women like this. I've got these opinions, and that's cool. And then obviously when it was controversial and crazy for like 6 months to 8 months, then like, oh my God, he was everywhere. And then when everyone realized that he just kept doing that, everyone was like, okay, and everyone just got bored of him. Like he was getting banned off all the social media platforms because he was like a
yeah, that was
danger.
creating more hype. That was.
Yeah,
I think the problem was the prison thing, man. Like he just didn't have. He just didn't put anything out for ages whilst he was in prison.
mm,
And then I feel like because of that, he's just become slightly less relevant.
yeah. To
But
be fair though, now it's kind of gone the other way, and he's become a bit of a meme. And then I'm sure you've seen that thing that's going around when he says, "Did you cry?" And he says, "No, tears ran down my face, but I did
yeah,
not cry."
have you? I watched that entire interview
Of course you did, you
actually.
fucking Tate lover.
Well, I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like, it's an interesting. It's interesting watching him argue with him. Sometimes he actually is quite intelligent, like when he's having an argument, and then
Yeah.
sometimes he just like I've seen him on some stuff where he's just like it's just a bunch of girls and he's just calling them all fucking hoes basically. And then I've seen other stuff where like that interview. I think that's with Piers Morgan. That one is, isn't it? Sorry, actually, I'm thinking of a different one.
No, I
That
don't
one's
know.
with Piers.
I don't know
I'm
who it's
pretty
with.
sure that one's with Piers Morgan, where he's talking about his tears ran down my face, but I didn't cry. But there's one where he does it with like a psychologist, and it's quite interesting because like they obviously have a bit of mutual respect for each other, but they're just like they do disagree on virtually everything, and it's quite entertaining to watch the conversation. Um,
Yeah,
so
but yeah,
yeah,
there's
I do think he is just like he's just one of them people that everyone overhypes. Sort of like he's like a love it or hate him character, and really like he's just a bloke like
yeah,
that's
and
saying stupid shit to get money.
yeah,
Like
and now I feel like he's really hit the bottom of that barrel, and he's just so desperately trying to stay in the limelight, and he just keeps saying more and more outlandish things, like even to the point where it just doesn't even make sense. Like it's not, and I'm not saying that he
yeah,
made sense before, but like beforehand, you could see the edge to it of like, oh yeah, very funny, like I get what you're doing here, like
yeah,
whereas now it's just like you're just literally just being openly racist or not racist, I guess, because you're
literally.
half black, so it's not racist or whatever.
Oh mate, he knows he's just got his little followers of worshippers. Like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's just playing to them a lot of the time.
Like you.
Nah, nah, because there is people that will just like anything he does. They're just like, oh my god, Andrew Tate. Like, whereas like I don't know what I think about Andrew Tate. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have much of an opinion on him that really. Like I do think people when people go on like he's like the most dangerous person on the internet, I'm like, well, that's just not true. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think
No,
he's really that
I don't
dangerous
think
at
he ever
all.
was. Like the thing,
No, I don't.
I think that was just because like there was those like those education reporting stuff and like and I think as well when when you've got someone out there pushing all this stuff, like he wasn't really doing that much, but people were like, I think especially with the fucking oh god damn it, the Instagram the Instagram algorithm and all those kind of social media algorithms when it pushes that stuff, and you
Yeah.
get into those things like some of the stuff I see on Instagram now, like I have no idea what's up with the algorithm or what it
Oh,
suggests
mate,
anymore.
this is why I deleted it off the phone for a bit, and I've started using it again. But like every now and then, I'll just like scroll through for a bit, and I'll come across some stuff, and I'm just like, this is why I don't want to have
Yeah,
Instagram because some of the shit that comes up, you're just like, what the fuck is that?
yeah,
Like,
like
do you know what I mean?
I'm getting annoyed, but there's an option where you can like not comment on the reel, like not comment on it. You can like bring up the settings and go like I want to see less content like this.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to cultivate. I'm saying to the algorithm, stop showing me this stuff. Like it does my absolute head in. Like
yeah.
the weight bait or the rage bait stuff where it's just like deliberately like poorly put together like stuff and then like you just
What's rate? Oh, what? Where it's just like some fat bird saying something ridiculous, and then the comments are just all them going crazy. Is that what you mean?
yeah, or
What's
even
weight bait?
weight bait is like it's so they'll be like um because obviously you get algorithm like I have an influencer Instagram account, so they give you all the bloody background information and you can see all the stuff and they can tell like what your engagement is, how long people spend on your reels, and if people spend like a longer time on your reels then it pushes them more, so people know that this drives the algorithm for engagement and for it being
Yeah,
shared. So they'll post stuff like um fine. Just for a simple example, because I can't think of a specific one, but you'll know it. You'll know it when I mention it. They'll be like, "These four cars are incredible," and then it will show you the cars really slowly, and then but they'll put like, you know, wait till number four comes out, shocked face, or um, I can't, or that they'll be like, it'll be like, I can't believe this guy said that. Wait till the end. Dot dot dot. And then
oh yeah,
they make you watch like 15 seconds of nothing, and then the actual thing you want to see is the last 2 seconds. But they
and it's
deliberately
not even that interesting, is it?
no, it's
Either.
not interesting. So they deliberately like bait you into watching it all the way through, and it just drives the
Right.
algorithm for them. But there isn't actually like you've not watched it because there's anything actually keeping you there, or it's funny or interesting. It's just deliberately like tricking people.
Yeah.
And so whenever something comes up that says like I'm like get rid, and just so much of it gets through. And I guess it must be that that's just what Instagram is flooded with.
Oh yeah. I think that Instagram's become weird recently. Like all the like ever since Reels came out, I feel like it's so much like TikTok now, where it's just all like just random videos of like from accounts that aren't even run by a person. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not even
Yeah.
like
Well,
real people on there anymore. Like
yeah, there was a guy I saw, and all he does is make TikTok and Instagram videos where, like and some of them don't. And I think AI is actually a big part of this as well, where he just
Yeah.
cuts like 40 seconds from a podcast, makes a reel out of it,
Hmm.
and then has some gameplay stuff underneath and stuff like that, and they just
Oh yeah.
get the ad revenue. But there's loads of them that I come across where they've cut they've cut something from a podcast or from a show or something, and they've turned it into a reel, but you can tell it's not been done by a human because the editing makes no sense. Like any human that edited that scene or did that thing, you wouldn't cut it that
Oh, so
way.
you think it's AI that's actually for
Yeah, yeah.
creatively?
So I think they've got a program where
Wow.
they just throw that they just not all of it. Obviously, some people will be doing it manually, but I think there's probably an
Yeah, because I'm
AI.
sure it's like an actual side hustle for people now.
Yeah,
Like I see stuff get. That's one of the things I get on my thing all the time is like make money like this, and it's like affiliate marketing, like how I made 10 grand a month, never showing my face on Instagram, and it's just like I make a random Instagram account, get clips online, turn them into reels, and just like literally just basically like you say, put something outrageous in the caption, so like either loads of people start commenting on it, or they wait till the end sort of thing comes up. But it's all just random shit all the time. Like,
yeah,
but it's like an actual way of making money
yeah,
now.
it is, and I think because it is a way of making money, there's always that race to the bottom of who can do it the quickest and the cheapest. And so obviously with the
Hmm.
AI, I think there's AI that cuts stuff because I see some like they do it a lot with scenes in films. Like you might have even seen it on YouTube. There are these YouTube channels which are just AI summaries of films, and an AI voice
No,
just
I've never
speak.
seen that.
Ah, mate,
No,
it's so bizarre. I don't have a clue who it's for. Um, but yeah, I'll see if I can find something and I'll send it over for you to have a look at. But on YouTube, I'll just put
yeah.
film summary. Um, but yeah, like so there's one here. It's called movie recaps, and it's in the future showing emotions is illegal and will get you jailed, right? And it's like yeah, exactly, and it's the summary of films, but like someone just summarizes the film over 4 or 5 minutes, but not in like
Is it like that weird AI
yeah, it's a
TikTok
weird
Siri
AI voice,
voice?
but rather than just
Yeah.
calling the films what they're called, it it calls them like a weird titles, and I think the titles are also AI generated from what's on there. So,
Right.
like for example, we could play a bit of a game here. Let's have a look. Yeah. Aliens kidnap 20,000 humans for experiments, but drop them back with superpowers.
What?
That's what I
That's
mean.
the title of a film.
Yeah.
What?
There's no, it's not the title of the film. It's what the AI picks as the title. It must be AI or a
Oh,
human.
as the title of
Yeah,
the video.
right.
Yeah.
You definitely know this film. If you might have seen it in 2043, Earth is a nuclear wasteland with people hunting each other for the limited resources.
Mad Max.
Mad Max, yeah. But like that's what I mean. If a human made the video, you'd call it a summary of Mad Max, or you know,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't call it in 2043 Earth is like it does, and that's what's.
Oh.
I don't know what this film is, but the summary title: Zombie Simp helps girl make a vaccine that ends virus outbreak.
What? What? Zombie
Zombie
Sims.
Simp.
What?
Oh, I
You don't
don't.
have to say that either. We're getting cancelled for
I don't know. I don't
that.
know what that is, but Zombie Simp helps girl make vaccine and end the virus outbreak.
What film is that?
I don't know.
Like,
I can't
I
even
can't think of any film that I've ever watched where there's a zombie sim.
No, me neither. Oh god, but yeah. Anyway, so that's the kind of stuff that's out there, and like so, and it just feels weird that all this AI stuff is out there where these things get made. And I guess like I said, but yeah, it's the same thing. And I think because some of the things when like some of the videos I've seen when we're on about like they've cut like 40 30 seconds from a film or from a TV show or something like an epic moment or whatever, the way it's
Yeah,
been cut, if you've like especially if you've seen the thing already, I'm like you wouldn't cut that, like you wouldn't edit it like that, you'd leave that bit in there, you'd cut that bit out at the end, like it ends like mid part or mid sentence and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's
yeah.
just how that
I've
stuff
seen that
works.
with Instagram videos. Yeah, I wonder with some of that stuff if it's like been made for something else though, and because Instagram has like a doesn't it have a time limit on how long you can put a reel?
Yeah, it does. But the thing is that what I think is if you would just put the full like I'm saying if you're a human and you were doing it, you just wouldn't do it. You'd do it differently. I guess you could just be
Mm,
well if you were lazy, but you know what I mean. And that's why I think they just do these things at such high quantity that they just do cut post, cut post, cut post.
yeah,
They don't sense check it, and they just go on a kind of if we put 1,000 out there, if you know if we can make 1,000 in 10 minutes and only 10 of them do well, it's still only 10 minutes, so winner winner kind of a thing. And obviously it's not like they don't build like long term like anything long term. I don't even know if they get anything out of
but
it.
you say that, but these YouTubers want people to clip their shit now. That's what the whole streaming thing's about. Like you do, like all these streamers doing like 14-hour streams and stuff like that, and then basically the way that they because like not everything in these bloody streams is interesting. There's probably like so many. I've never watched a stream really, but like there's probably so much dead space in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, where they're just not doing anything, and like they then want the bits where it is interesting to just be clipped up. So like there's all that thing with YouTubers now, like where they're all like everything you'll say this for the like say someone's on a podcast and someone will ask someone like a question that's a bit a bit personal or a bit close to home about something in particular. Like I've
Mm.
seen it where they turn around and been like, well, you it was like as a joke a little bit, just been like, you did that for the clip, didn't you? But do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, the pod, this, yeah, the people clipping stuff up from the podcast, there is definitely that as well. Like people, like, oh, do you know what? Again, a tangent from a tangent from a tangent, but that's pretty much every conversation we've ever had. That is something as well that I am, I have, I'm so like, and again, I guess it works, but people cutting non-context 20-second clips from podcasts and then uploading them
yeah,
is got to be the lowest form of evidencing your point out there. Like,
oh yeah.
the thing is with some of the like some of the stuff that's out there as well. I come across them where again these people I'm guessing there's always going to be those people that just want to make low level content to just try and drag out whatever kind of free money they can get out of it. But there used to be a thing ages ago on YouTube before it got stopped, which was called the reply girls or reply videos, where
Right.
you could make a video to reply to a video, and if you did that, you'd be at the top in the suggested. So obviously, like everything, people started to bait it and make reply videos. So they'd find a popular video,
This was
make
on YouTube, was it?
yeah, we're talking way back. I'm old school
All right,
internet man. I was given unmoderated, unrestricted access to the internet from the age of
yeah,
six,
I bet
and
fucking hell. Jesus. Yeah.
yeah, well, because I wanted a computer, so I got bought like a low level computer when I was like six, and I had and obviously, I didn't really do too much with it. I played like RuneScape and stuff mainly, but also
Yeah.
whilst you're playing RuneScape, you need to have other things to do, and I did a lot of stuff on the internet, and the internet was a lawless place back then, and
Oh yeah.
um, and so yeah, it had no effect on me whatsoever. I'm a upstanding member of society now, but yeah. Anyway, so on old YouTube, people used to make reply videos, and so people would make a video of themselves, and then obviously, because it would be the thumbnail that would get clicked on that would get you the attention, people would start making more and more ridiculous thumbnails, and then it just became girls with their tits out.
Well, of
And it
course
was
it did.
yeah
Obviously.
because if there's one
What
way
gets the most views? Girls with tits
yeah,
out. You got to be that.
if there's one way to trick a like 90% male audience that exists on YouTube into clicking on your video so you get a bit of ad revenue is to be a hot girl in a bra. And so they would do reply videos in their bras and it was like and there was about 6 months where it was ridiculous. Like they were everywhere and the content that was in there was terrible. It
What
was
was it even? What were they even doing then?
they
Like
would
while they were
basic
replying
so
to
so let's say for example me and you had watched a video perfect, so let's say someone had made a video there's one that's suggested on my YouTube right now, The Boys, right? So let's say someone made a video called My Review of The Boys Season 4.
Yeah.
they would make my reply video to the boys, that video, and they would literally go, yeah, so I watched the video of my summary of the boys season 4. I really liked it. I thought it was good for this and for this and for this, and I don't think it was good because of this. Thank you very much. Bye bye. And it'd be like a minute video, but
But they
obviously
just do it with their tits out.
they do, yeah, and they'd get the clicks, they get the stuff. I don't know if the ad
Right.
revenue, I don't know what the ad revenue was like back then, or
Well,
if it was really
it was
worth it.
it got changed after a while too. So I bet it was just because you just get paid based on views back then, didn't you? It wasn't like it was nothing to do with how long
Yeah, it
people watched
wasn't.
for and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
watch time became more of a metric that they wanted to look at and target, and like the things that as time went on, they did a lot more to kind of change that. And I actually think, to be honest, I think the YouTube algorithm's actually in a pretty good place for me anyway. Like,
I
it's
like YouTube. I do.
yeah,
Like,
like
it comes up with good stuff for me normally.
yeah, it really does. And do you know what's really weird? I feel like it's now. I feel like it's got into my head in terms of when I like to watch stuff, because I have in the morning when I'm getting up before I go to the gym, I always put news stuff on, so like whatever's happening. And
Yeah,
when I get up in the morning and I go to YouTube, it suggests news summaries and news information first thing. And then when I go,
really.
yeah, it's really weird. And then when I'm going to bed at night, the suggestions are all different. Like the suggestions are more like the more casual stuff that I watch to kind of like switch off and chill out to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if that's just like coincidence, or if it's just because, or if it is actually, it's got like, at certain times it suggests different content. Who knows? Um,
Well, I mean, to be fair, the way they've got these algorithms now, I wouldn't be surprised
mm,
if it figured out your daily pattern. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
They don't, especially because fucking YouTube and Google are the same thing, aren't they?
yeah. Well, they are.
Yeah,
They
I
own them.
mean, like
Alphabet, baby.
exactly. They're
Did you
like,
see that Alphabet or
what's
Google?
what's alphabet?
Alphabet's the group, the Google
Oh,
group.
really? Okay, and
You never heard of Alphabet?
I'd never heard of that.
The thing is,
I just thought it was just Google. Like, I
yeah,
thought Google just owned everything. I didn't
nope.
realize they had a group over the top.
Well, I think they made the Alphabet group not too long ago.
I see. Okay. What? Because they just own everything.
Yeah. So it says founded September 4th, 1988, or October 2nd, 2015. So I'm guessing that they're saying that either you go with the founding of Google as the start date. Yeah, yeah. They restructured Google on October 2nd, 2015. Yeah, so Alphabet is basically Google, but they restructured to have Alphabet as a group. Probably one of those legal protection things or something like
It
that.
will be. It's so that Google is its own separate entity.
Yeah. Um,
Um, so it's not that they will probably do this, I think, because if you have, say, like if Google own all these different companies and then one of those companies doesn't work out, goes wrong, that could affect Google as a brand, like which is its own, it's got its own thing. So if you have like you have this conglomerate that owns all of them separately, if say YouTube something happened and but something happens to YouTube and they lose loads of money on YouTube, it's not going to necessarily take loads of money out of Google. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Google aren't liable for all these other companies now. They have they're still out there, but because they're owned by this alphabet, everything would go through them basically.
Yeah.
It's
That
just
makes sense.
liability.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
it
But
is.
anyway, yeah. So they split that out to the Alphabet group. So they did that. But Google was found for um, they kept loads of data. Like they found guilty of keeping loads of data from people that had used incognito mode on
Right.
Google. And obviously, well,
Oh,
incognito mode is not
yeah.
supposed to be used for that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Google was decided to keep everyone's porn searches, because I don't think anyone has used incognito mode for anything else other than pornography.
Yeah, literally. It's so mad though. It is mad that it's still just like all it does really that is hides it from your search history. That's it.
Yeah.
They can still fucking see everything.
Oh, Google
Because
knows everything that's happening, mate. It's discussed in some of the other things we've gone over. But good place to start over here, a bit more organic.
mm,
I have
yeah.
watched finally the summer hit sensations that released last year that everyone talked about and was all over there. Me and Jess did Barbenheimer. We watched Oppenheimer
Barben,
and then what?
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, it's called Barbenheimer, mate, because they came out on the same day. So there's that whole thing of like,
Yeah,
watching
I know.
Oppenheimer then Barbie or vice versa.
Do you know what
I
the worst part about it is? I've not seen Oppenheimer, but I have seen Barbie.
That is the worst bit. How did you? I mean, look, Oppenheimer is well an incredible film by Christopher Nolan. But yeah, I think the thing is with it is that especially with those films, like with yeah, one of them is a cultural masterpiece that's absolutely incredible, phenomenal to watch, raises loads of important questions about humans and everything and the interactions between us, and the other is some stupid film about World War II or something, I don't know. But like and you've
What
got
did you
that.
actually think of that Barbie film? Though? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I thought. It
Do
was
you know
funny.
do you know what? I actually there's certain bits of it that I quite liked. The only thing that kind of annoyed me is the only thing that I thought was a bit. So they have that big thing where they're like, "Oh, Barbie represents consumerism and stuff like this," and they made that reference in those jokes. But the whole bloody film is so clearly sponsored by Chevrolet, like so clearly. The vehicle that the mother drives is a Chevrolet.
Yeah,
The vehicles that all of the guys that work for Mattel drive is um, the vehicles that all the guys from Mattel drive is a Chevrolets. And so it's like, yeah, okay, you've got this kind of anti-consumerism. I know it's more about female empowerment, but that is still in there. So I thought that was kind of funny. However, I I don't think I don't think I've laughed so hard at a film in ages because
it is funny.
some of the stuff caught me off guard so much, and one of the bits in it when when Barbie's confronting the board and she's like, "Can I speak to the
Mm.
woman in charge?" and he's like, "No, me, and everyone's a man," and she's like, "There's no women that work here," and he walks around and he goes, "No, no," he goes, "We had that woman CEO like 20 years ago, and then there was that other woman that worked for us," and he's trying to justify that they're not sexist, and then he goes, and I have many friends that are Jewish, and I laughed so hard
I love Will Ferrell.
because
He's so funny.
yeah, Will Ferrell is quite funny, but I just laughed so hard because obviously that's just been the thing now for ages of having to say I have many friends that are Jewish because of all the stupid stuff that's been happening.
Oh,
Oh,
mate. No,
that,
I will give it. I did think it was probably. I mean, one of the funnier films I've watched recently. I will say that
yeah.
it was. It did make me laugh. It was very political though, actually, or like I don't know. It just felt like it had a bit of an agenda. It's
Yeah,
like,
well,
which I guess
it
it
didn't
did.
feel like it had an agenda. It was a,
Yeah,
but I think the
and
thing
it was
is,
just so. It was a bit over the top in that sense.
yeah, I
Like,
feel like it still fell short on a few things for me. It was a good effort all round. Jess said she really liked it, and you know what? Not that it helps, but Ryan Gosling in it, I found like really funny some of the stuff, and I did actually really like the writing because
yeah,
I think what I feel like, and trying not to sound pretentious here, but I probably will do. I do quite like being critical of films and thinking about films more than just what they are and the writing and stuff. And I think what was quite funny for me is it's not as common now. There are there's always badly written films, but it used to be a really bad thing with films that women were just written really poorly and really one-dimensional. So like I'm a
mm,
woman, I like being a mother, and that's literally it. Like there's not much to them, or the
yeah.
damsel that gets saved and stuff like that, and they don't really have much character. And so when they flip and go to the real world, they do that with Ryan Gosling's character. They make him one-dimensional because he just spends the whole time talking about how he likes trucks and he wants trucks. And then when they go, oh my god, when Barbie's getting escorted into that truck, and they go, is that Barbie? You should go with it. And he goes, do you think they'll let me drive that truck? and
It
the, but
is funny.
but I said to Jess, the thing that's funny about that is that like I don't think it's a misrepresentation of guys. I think that's pretty dead on. Like
That's great. I just want to the truck.
yeah, like whenever I see a really cool truck, I do go, I want to drive that truck. Oh, I hope that
I
I like.
mean, there is something to that.
Mm, like yeah,
Definitely.
but yeah, and so that was quite good. And like yeah, obviously the fact that you've not seen Oppenheimer is going to cut down the fact of talking about it. But
I know, yeah. I just never like. I don't think. I think that was the last time I went to the cinema. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Yeah, I've not been to cinema for like
I
nearly a
I
year.
think it's more of a date thing. Like I don't think I've been to the cinema with mates now for years. Like the only
Yeah, but
people I
the thing is with going to cinema on a date, you can't really do it as like a first date, can you? Because
no.
like you just don't speak to them. Like it's just a weird in like it's uncomfortable. I wouldn't do it ever as a first or even like probably a second or third date. Like I'd only probably do it with someone I was properly seeing.
Oh,
Do
I
you know what
think
I
no,
mean?
I think
Like
it works well as a third date because if you've established yourself as comfortable, then I think it's a good option you've got there. Because you can have a bit of preamble beforehand, and then if you've got like an hour or two afterwards, maybe have a drink and you can chat about the film and like kind of get a bit more of an understanding of what. Plus, what films you agree on watching is important because you will be forced to watch them with that person for the rest of your life if it goes really well. Um,
that's a bit of a deep thing to think about for your third
Well, you don't know.
date.
I'm just saying it's good to get to know each other. But yeah, and so like I thought the Barbie film was quite fun. Jess really liked it, and then yeah, well Oppenheimer for me I thought was phenomenal. Obviously there's not too
Oh no,
much to.
tell her I did. What I did go and watch June.
Oh, you
That's
watched
the last
June?
time I went. Yeah, I watched June. I watched it at home, and then when I watched it a few months ago, the
Oh,
second
decent.
one that came out. That is a good. I like that film. That's a good film.
I've not seen any of the Dunes. The thing is, I don't really. I'm really bad for watching stuff. Like I really can't be bothered, and it's so bad. But like I prefer my gaming and stuff, so I'm always just doing that. And I don't really play games too often that I can watch stuff alongside, so I never do. Jess gets really angry at me because she wants to watch stuff at like a breakneck pace. It's like she's a big binger and I just don't. And so she just gets angry
Yeah,
at me that she can't watch it when she wants to if we're going to watch it together, and then she just gets frustrated.
well, that's why I feel like if you're gonna do that, you gotta have like something you watch together, and then you watch your own things as well. Like I always, that's what I always think when I was with Thingy. So I don't know. I don't. That is what it is, I guess. You're not just gonna start binge watching stuff, are you? So you have to get used to it. She must have some like shit TV shows that you're not interested in, like Love Island or
Oh
something like that
yeah,
she
man.
watches.
She's absolutely. Do you know what? Again, something that's actually good to talk about. She absolutely loves Real Housewives of X, right?
Just generally Real Housewives, like
Yeah,
whatever.
because it's the same guy that owns all of them, right? And they all run on different
Well,
seasons.
all the Housewives.
Yeah, he's a he's a serial polygamist. It's an absolute nightmare. Um, so let me try and find out how many there is. So yeah, because so this guy, it's this one guy that runs them all. Um, yeah, so it began in 2006 with the Real Housewives of Orange County, and since then led to 27 spin-off series. Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's the like I don't get it. I don't get it. And
Well, wasn't there like a Real Housewives of fucking Cheshire or something?
yeah, real yeah. And then there was the Real Wives.
Real Scouse.
I don't know if that was related to the actual season, but anyway, and so it's the exact same thing every time. Like Jess watches all of them. They have a bunch of women that are all housewives or not. Or to be fair, that some of them own businesses and actually work, so they're not even housewives. So misleading. But anyway, yeah, they got the Real Housewives of New Jersey, DC, Beverly Hills, Miami, the lot, Potomac, Salt Lake. Anyway, I'm not going to read them.
Potomac.
Yeah, I'm not going to read them all out one by one, but that's just a good chunk of them. But anyway, so they got all these Real Housewives shows, and obviously I'm sat around with her. She's watching it from time to time, and every now and then I'll give it like it has my attention for a few minutes, and I just don't get it. Like I really don't get it. Like I don't understand what the importance of it is or where the entertainment value comes from, because
Is it not just drama? I've never
yeah,
watched Real
it is just
Housewives.
drama. It is just drama. But the thing is, like, it just I don't get it. Like I don't understand what the engagement is, and I don't know if it's just literally one of those things that fundamentally, as a man, you just can't get. I don't know any men that watch it. I've never met a man that watches it.
I don't know about Real Housewives, but I will say this, and I know quite a few people that this happens to, and it happened to me when I was with Grace. I you, with not with Real Housewives, never fucking watched that. I don't know what the thing of that is, but things like Love Island. Sometimes if they've got it on and you watch it, you find yourself getting drawn into like the. Do you know what I think it is? I think it taps into like you know how humans are like they develop, we evolve socially. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I think it must tap into that part of your brain. It's like social dynamics. You're watching a group. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? And like how they interact with each other. And a lot of it is fake or scripted or whatever for drama, which I think is what that is. I think it's just tapping into that weird part of humans' brains where it's just they like the social, you evolve off
yeah,
social interaction and stuff.
yeah. It
But it
is.
is like one of those things. It's like the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, the
Like
only
it's
thing,
just
yeah. So they have the show and stuff, and like I don't know what the actual premise is. They're always just doing stuff, and people have like different things going on. But the way these people, I don't know if they are just bad people, or if that's just like if it's pushed up for the show. But the way these people interact with each other is like non-human. I swear. Like it's like I'm sorry. Are you like I say to her like, are these people like real? Are they actual adults? Like, because so like so they have like these arguments or whatever, and one of them like she was watching this Real Housewives of Dubai, and so she called him like one of the women wasn't happy with one of the other women and like insulted her and said she was like a beggar, and then
oh.
they all have like these catty conversations off by themselves, and then they go, "Oh, I'm having this big soiree dinner. Please come to my place." And so they all go to the big soiree dinner. They're obviously all everyone in this show is just
It's
ridiculously
stupidly
loaded.
rich. Yeah.
Everyone's stupidly rich, right? And it's frustrating how rich they are. But anyway, so they all go into these things and they have this like, and then it's like, oh, and it's like they like go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, now at this big dinner in front of everyone, I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna fucking go for that bitch. And they like go in on each other. They cause this massive scene, and then they're having this back and forth, and then like it's really funny because it's like they're almost. It feels forced because all the husbands, when these kickoffs happen, just stand there in silence. Like they all just stand there in pure
Watch
silence, like they've been told this is about the housewives. Don't you get involved? And then
it.
um and then then she's like really going in on this woman. She's like la, 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 giving a load of grief, and then the guy goes from the background, "Watch yourself, woman." Like,
That's all. That's
yeah,
it.
like yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre some
It's
of the
probably
stuff that
because
happens in
it's
it.
that. Some of that's probably because it's scripted. Like
Yeah, I feel like it is because like they do that and
it,
then
all, it is 100% scripted. Like
mm,
these shows are all scripted. I think fucking even stuff like Love Island and stuff like that. It's not like I think they get told like not necessarily scripted, but they get told like you're gonna go and sit and have this conversation with this person at this time in the evening. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they come in the day, do all their makeup, all that sort of shit. Like it's not just them sat around a house on holiday, just it's all just natural. Like they get told to go and have these certain conversations with each other and stuff like that. It's all fake. Like none of it's like actually natural in like genuine interaction, I don't think.
yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff that happens like that, and I think it might just all be set up. I feel like Love Island might be less scripted. I don't know. Obviously,
I don't think it's scripted Love Island, but like I say, like obviously, I think they still like are attract. You know, they get put in there. The ones that are attracted to each other end up like getting together.
yeah,
I
because
think what then happens is when a situation arises, say something's happened where one of the lads is like flittering between two of the girls,
mm,
those girls will then get told by the producer, you're going to have a conversation with each other about this at a certain time, or they'll
yeah,
like make them do they'll make them go off for lunch together or something, so that they definitely get into an argument. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah. It's yeah.
they'll facilitate these dramatic events almost. Do you know what
Oh
I mean? To
mate,
get
well
people watching.
that was like that. Do you ever hear? Do you ever hear that there was that show X on the Beach?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard of
So
it. Never seen it.
I watched the first few episodes of that with someone when it was kind of on, and I shit you not, these people have signed up for a show called X on the Beach, where the premise is you're on a beach and your ex shows up, and the surprise that hits these people when they are on a beach and their ex shows up is unbelievable. Like you would think they had recently sustained head injuries for how much it catches them off guard. They're sat there and they'll go, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's turned up here. I would have never have thought in a million years he'd be here." It's like, who did you think was going to turn up? Like, it's the premise of the show. Like,
You literally signed up for
yeah,
it on the
like,
beach.
like I was thinking, like, I was like, how did you like? Were you tricked? Did they say, "Oh, we want to do, we want to just, we want to do a reality show on the, it's just called On the Beach," and then they're like, "Oh, got you. Here's your ex." Like, yeah, like,
Oh,
but again, that's the kind of caliber of people that you get for that stuff. They to be honest, they've changed it now. I know they've started screening people really hard and giving them social media training and psychology support because of how roughly treated the people from the first few seasons are. Because I think
yeah,
a lot of people don't understand like what they're getting themselves into by being thrust into
no.
fame in the public eye. Because
I
it's
think a lot of them now as well sort of have to have somewhat of an Instagram following already, so they're sort of like in that. Do you know what I mean? Like they're in that world already. Like a
yeah,
lot of the people that are on there already have hundreds of thousands of people, like or at least tens of thousands of followers on Instagram before they go in,
yeah,
and then by the
definitely.
time they're out, they've got like millions. Do you know what I mean? So like they've all got to have. I think probably for the same reason they're probably just filtering it so it's not people that can't handle it. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got all some experience in that world already, I guess.
Yeah,
But
you got to because again, as you, yeah, people can well, it's just as the Instagram comments show, the the internet and the general public can be real mean when there's some anonymity.
you know, yeah, especially if they like favoritize certain people and stuff like that. It must be a bit mad. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I
to be
imagine
fair,
some people,
I don't think I could.
I imagine some people must get done over in the editing as well. Maybe things aren't done too gracefully for him.
Oh yeah, 100%. They'll get like, yeah, definitely. Things will get missed out and stuff like that. Sure,
Yeah,
you won't have any say in it.
no, I know, but yeah, there's a load of stuff like that. There's always been, I've always found quite funny with that kind of stuff. But yeah, the reality TV shows and all that stuff, I don't really think it holds up very well. Um, as I said, to go on a show called X on the Beach and be surprised when your ex turns up on a beach is shockingly poor. Um, right, lovely. So my food's just turned up. So if